All right, Melissa, how are you doing? Thank you for joining me. We're kind of doing a follow-up conversation to the video that we made together about your experience with meditation and how it affected you and affected your life and how it changed your life and even saved your life, from what I could tell. So, that's it's probably been what we started filming it back in around October ish, and now we're getting into March. But a lot's happened since then, and figured we would kind of do a follow up video to see what's going on with you. So since we kind of shot the video and did it, what's been going on with you? How are things going with you?
So yeah, a lot has happened. Um, it's been kind of up and down. I was through the recording of the video. I was going through a separation, and that stress I think was kind of getting to me, and it took a toll. And but then I caught COVID, and when I caught COVID, my health kind of took a backslide. So I ended up having to go back to the rheumatologist and get put back on my heart medication. But the labs that, like my blood work that they were looking at, it was showing a lot of activity of disease, but I didn't let the fear really step in like in the past. And that was pretty difficult because at first I kind of started to panic, but then I remembered everything I have been through, and it just felt different this time. And at first, it was very difficult. I was like really battling for a few weeks, and then it started like prednisone, and it started to help, but I just never, and I still haven't, give up like hope that what I am doing is the most important, which is meditation. I've never stopped meditating, and in fact, I started to kind of go back to like doing even more daily because it was the only time I was actually getting relief again because I was in a lot of pain. But sticking to that, I'm already back off prednisone, um, and doing a lot better. So
So to kind of sum up what you were saying is, you basically since the video you kind of had a setback. How severe was your setback? Did it go intense as to what you were talking about in the video, or was it maybe just a mild thing? What was it? Was it your heart rate? Was it rashes or?
yeah, it was nothing compared to what I've been through. I did develop a new heart arrhythmia, but the doctors are saying that it just falls under that dysautonomia, and so I'm back on a heart pill right now. But my goal is to get back off of it, and I really
Yeah.
hope to be able to. It's just managing my stress, and
Yeah. Yeah, well, it seems like what you've gone through and what the things you deal with is stressful. So it's kind of, it kind of comes with the territory there. Would you say that meditation has, we kind of talked about this earlier, but would you say that like the meditation, it kind of maybe shortened the period or maybe turn down the intensity of maybe what you would experience? Because what you went through before was like 4 years of just hell, and this is not that this is good, but it sounds like it wasn't nearly as intense and for nearly as long either. I mean, you look good. You don't look like you've got any issues going on.
yeah, absolutely. I just really feel like if I had stopped meditating, that I would be way worse right now, different direction in my life of just being unwell. Whereas now I'm still, I'm a single mom, so I still have two kids that are very active in their lives. Take them to school, all the extra activities. I still do my grocery shopping. I live like a normal life still, and I really just feel like if I wasn't meditating, I would not be. I would have to be more dependent on prednisone and probably still on prednisone, whereas I was able to taper off of it and get off of it because That's no fun.
Yeah, yeah, I bet I could tell. Now, did the doctors did they have any solutions, or did they just kind of put you back into the protocol of what you did before? They were like, "Oh, we'll just do what we did before," which didn't work anyway.
Yeah, no, they jumped right back to the same medications, which was just prednisone and then a heart pill.
Yeah,
So
yeah, and I would imagine, or I guess I want to ask, you know that stuff didn't really serve you that well, but I'm sure there's some fear going on. You don't want to just go, well, I'm not going to do anything. You want to believe in the doctors, and you like it's got to be a tough. I got a feeling. I'm assuming it had to be kind of like a tough battle of like I don't want to go and do that. I'd rather just meditate. But then again, I got some problems that I can't let get out of control, and neglect, hurt me in any way. You didn't want to neglect those. So I'm assuming.
yeah, absolutely. Like when I started to get sick, I really felt like I had two choices to just really succumb to Western medicine and just play victim or go about this in a new way that I never had before, which is balance of accepting that sometimes we may need Western medicine, but ultimately, I still feel like what I'm doing with meditation daily is what's really helping me live and enjoy life.
Yeah, we talked about this the other day when we kind of were catching up. But I asked you. I said, if you were to pick, if you only had one option, and that it was, just do whatever the doctors say, or you can meditate, and you can only pick one to be able to deal with your issues that you've had going on. Uh, what would you what which one would you pick? Would you say?
Meditating, definitely.
So you'd get rid of all the medicines and the doctors and say, "I'll just roll. I'll bet my money on meditating before all that other stuff."
Yes, from my past experiences, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
that's what's helped me in so many ways.
yeah. And with you, it's not just in your mind, or it's not your ego kind of going, "Oh, I'm just not going to listen to them. I'm smarter than them." You've seen real, life changing results that, whether you believed in it or not, it worked for you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's why I want to do this follow up video. I think we talked about how we hear stories of people meditating and they have some kind of issues or disease or problem in their life, and it's a good story to hear. Like it's I've got this problem. I meditated and it's all gone. Well, how long? To back up a little bit, but how long in between your issues and meditating before it showed its head again? Did you have before? How long of a time was that? Was it a year or 2 years or?
2 years.
So you got two. You dealt with this for 4 years. You were miserable. So you got 2 years where you didn't see it at all, and then when it did come back, it wasn't nearly as big of a deal as it was before. And that's one reason why we wanted to do this video is maybe it's not always black and white. Like it's I've got something and it's completely gone. It showed back up, but you believe that meditation turned the volume down, shortened the period of that, and you've learned a lot about yourself. And you've also changed person. You've moved on. You aren't married to the person that you were with, and from talking with you, it sounds like that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
And so you moved on, and you're happy with that. Lots changed. That's exciting to hear about you, about your um, about your experience of dealing with this setback. Anything else you want to share with that I'm kind of leaving out, or not bringing up?
um, no, I think that basically covers it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, yeah, it's not complicated. It sounds like the message from you is just if you got a problem, meditate, and it'll probably fix itself on its own. To make a long story short.
Yeah, and in the in between time, fixed or not, you just still enjoy life because that's what I kept holding on to was, well, it doesn't really matter what I'm going through because my external environment, doesn't dictate how I feel, and that includes physical symptoms. Meditation allows me to like rise above my body and just enjoy life. And that's, that's the best part. So,
Right. That's one thing that I've noticed with you. Every time we talk about how meditation has corrected, you've always included it's how you feel in between all those meditations and how you interpret things. You used to be very negative. You used to be, just kind of worrisome all the time, and you just kind of changed all that and went, no, I'm doing better. I'm healed. I'm going in the right direction. I'm happy. I'm happy to be alive. And all of a sudden, everything started to change. And so it
yeah.
sounds like I've noticed that you've always included that in with the meditation. Now, what are you doing? You still kind of doing the same regimen? Before, I think in the video we talked about you do an hour a day, or maybe an hour in the morning, hour in the evening. What are you doing with meditation? Are you still meditating?
Yes.
What does that look like for you?
Every single morning I wake up, I do like my own little routine of a little breath work, followed by a Joe Dispenza meditation. I like to switch them up a whole lot more now. I used to be, in the beginning, I was just like blessings of the energy center number 5, and that was it. Whereas now I just follow my intuition of which one I need that day and do that. And then depending on my symptoms through the day, if I felt like I had a rougher day, I'll do an extra one at night, but for the most part it's still just in the morning. I just feel like for me it's super important to begin my day that way. That's what's
Yeah, yeah. What happens in your meditations? We're kind of changing the topic off of your problems into like when you get into meditations. What we didn't talk about. We were going to talk about this, but we've talked before about your meditations. Can you tell me a little bit of like what's your experience like? They're hard to explain, I know, but what goes on in your meditations that you get out of them? Do you feel like you get something out of it after during the meditation, or is it something that shows up just on its own throughout the day or the week or the month? I like to think of it as like weightlifting. You get muscles and you get bigger and stronger, and you can lift something heavy a month from now because you lifted weights a month ago. What goes on in your meditations? What's your experience with that?
It's really a mixture for me. Like in the meditations I'll have like aha moments of just from the past, things that I've been holding on to. A lot of my meditations I start out really focused on the guided part, but then I just like go on my own little journey. And it's just wherever it leads me, and I just surrender to that. And gosh, it can just really vary from really recent things that I'll realize what I was wrong, or past like 10 years ago. And it just shows up, and I just remove my judgment towards it. If it's comfortable, I just embrace it and really sit with those feelings and just focus on healing and realizing that we always have the opportunity to change. Like that's just
Yeah,
the best part. But yeah, so like through my day, I'll also have just like random aha, almost like download kind of moments, or like these
yeah,
synchronicities that I'll go, oh, and then now something from the meditation will make sense, or you know, and then there's some meditations where I don't really get a whole lot as much as I just get that just peaceful, still feeling. I'll get, like aha moments later, or just, it'll show up in just the way I feel. I'll realize that, I'm not in pain. I'm not struggling as much
right.
today.
Yeah, yeah. I can relate. Now, would you say that you go into a meditation when you do this? That you kind of go in trying to like fix a specific thing, or like ask a question and get an answer for it, or do you just go in and kind of go, let's see what happens, or how do you go about doing that? And or I guess a simpler question is, how do you go about meditating and have some of these aha moments? What is it that you do, or do you even do anything at all?
Sometimes I do set an intention if I'm realizing that something I'm doing wrong and I just really don't understand, why I'm behaving a certain way or why things kind of keep repeating a pattern. I'll kind of like put my focus on that. But I would say more often I just go into it and I just trust in that whatever shows up or doesn't show up, to not really put any judgment on it, to just accept it and know that I'm doing the best part of just meditating.
All
Is
right.
sitting and you're meditating, everything else is okay. It's really not so much about all of those other things. Just trusting in that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people go into a meditation. They're like, all right, I got this problem or I need some money. And it's like, all right, I want to meditate once and then it should be fixed right now. And I think things can happen quickly, but things also kind of come over time too. And you don't always see them show up right away. But that's been my experience, my little 2 cents. But yeah, so you, now, how important is it for you with the meditation itself? Do you think that this particular meditation is important to what you're trying to do, or is it just the act of meditating? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious of what your thoughts are on that.
It's just the act of meditating. A big part of like the guided is the music for some reason. I guess the frequencies that's played, um, that can kind of have an influence, but ultimately, I don't feel like the guided meditation is really that important at all, as much as getting into that place.
Spending time in a meditative state, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So you don't think that there's, and this is one thing that I hear from some people out there, you don't think that there's like a secret meditation that no one knows of, that if you could find that, then it's like the Holy Grail and everything changes.
Yeah, absolutely. No.
Yeah. So it's not the meditation; it's the person themselves. You would think is that what you would say?
Yeah. Ab-
What would you say to somebody out there that's trying to meditate, struggling with meditation, curious about meditation, curious about your story? Like, how can they make changes? What would you tell them as maybe advice on how to get into that meditation, or how to start meditating?
Um, to try to just let go, trust yourself. Just know that you do have the answers. Like one of my favorite mantras for myself is everything I need is within me. And it's very powerful when we really believe in ourselves and know that we intuitively will find the right path through meditation. Just let go. Stop judging the thoughts. I used to struggle with judging, like, because I get a lot of visuals, and sometimes they would be kind of dark or negative, and I would be like,
You
oh
you
God,
get you get visuals in meditation.
yes.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
And to not judge, to let go and just
yeah.
self.
Would you say that all meditation? I'm kind of just doing rapid questions as they come up as I'm drinking my coffee. I'm going, all right, that's this, just kind of coming up with random questions. But would you say that in these meditations that it's all good stuff, or is it bad stuff, or is it scary sometimes? Like, what are your experiences, and do you have any control over that?
um, when I first started meditating, I tried to control. I would get like, I kind of struggled with scary visuals and stuff, and I think it was because I was so tuned into fear. Like my frequency was always be fearful, and so when I would go and start to move and go to my subconscious, fear would show up to just to let go. And it's our ego and our judgment that labels it good, bad. And the moment that we can just let go of good and bad and just be, it always comes back to just love. Like it always does. It's just an abundance of love in your heart. And I really consider that, like, to me, it feels like God's love. And
Yeah. it sounds like if you're in a meditation and if you're unsure or doubtful or think you're doing it wrong, then just resort back to just love and sit there in the space of love, and then everything else will take care of itself.
Yes.
Yes. I think that's good advice, and a lot of people don't realize that. They're always trying to let me do this, let me do that. To just sit there and sit in that space of love, and it'll all work out itself. What has been happening with you in your personal life? What are you doing for work now? You doing anything for work? Are you back to work? Or are you? What's going on with Melissa after the video now?
Well, ever since I started to get better, I just felt like I had this second chance at life and just want to help people and help people realize they can help themselves. You
Yeah.
know, it's so important that to just kind of like, I feel like my experience needs to be shared and talked about. And that's why I contacted you, because I want people to realize all of these answers that they're seeking everywhere is not really as much as they have it. And through meditation, you will find it.
Yeah.
And I started to research different ways of what can be helpful to people, and that's where I found a technique called Reiki. And so I started to take courses in Reiki, and I am now certified in that. And so I've been doing that with people, which is very similar to kind of like the coherence healings that Joe Dispenza does at his,
Okay.
but instead of like a group, it's just me being the one that's channeling the energy, the healing energy to the person. And I love it so much, and the people I've worked with, they love it. So that's what I've been focusing on.
Yeah, so you're a Reiki instructor, and you do that. You have a place you do it out of, or do you do it online? I think you told me you do it online as well too. Is that right?
Yeah, both.
Okay, so why don't you send me a link, and if people want to get in touch with you, maybe about doing Reiki or something of that, I'll either put a link in the video or maybe in the description below, so you can get in touch with Melissa if you're interested in Reiki with her. So they can reach out to you. If you give me a link to something, I'll do that for sure. And you can probably tell them more about it. I don't know too much about Reiki, but sounds like you do, and I'd love to hear more about it. But what about your son? He was in the video. How's he doing?
He's doing really good. Trying to take driver's ed, which is
He
crazy.
Okay. He talked so well in that video. He just really, as I told you before, brought that video together and really shared a perspective that I didn't expect. And I thought he did a great job. He's kind of the star of the show.
Yes,
And your mom, she's on the video as well, too. How's she doing?
she's doing really good. Yeah, everybody has been good. And if anybody wants to reach out to me to talk too, like even if they don't want Reiki, they just want to talk to me, I would love to talk to anybody that has any questions, or just to have someone to talk to about these things. I'm here.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people struggling out there with meditation. They're struggling with some issues, and I have found that people need some help. And so I guess maybe with that link, they can reach out to you either about Reiki, or if they want to maybe share, try to connect with you on another way, just understanding meditation. It's okay for them to do that as well, too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, like I said, I'm not sure where it'll be. It'll be either in the video here or it'll be in the description below. But I'll put a link to how you can get in touch with Melissa that way. And so if anybody's interested in connecting with her in that way. But well, Melissa, I guess This was a good conversation, and I thought it was a good follow up. And I think it was important to be able to show people it's not always black and white. You got rid of this disease and it's gone, and but you do believe and feel that meditation has really suppressed and turned that volume down. And I think that's we wanted to tell the full story of where you're at, and luckily you've got meditation as a tool to be able to use as a weapon in your life as a cheat code kind of thing. And so I'm happy for you, even though you were kind of dealing with some issues. It sounds like you're looking good. You don't look like you did in some of those pictures, so that's a good thing.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me and everything that you've done and helped me. I'm just so thankful. So,
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the time to do it with me. It was a lot of fun, and we had a good time. And our intention for doing this whole thing was genuinely just to be able to help people that are struggling with meditation or with some kind of disease, maybe that may be similar to yours, because you know, and you've met people out there that have got a similar thing, and you were lost for answers because the doctors didn't do anything. And so that is our whole intention for doing this video, is to be able to help people in whatever way that may be. I think, and I feel good ever since we've done this. That's where we've kind of that's the direction we've gone.
yes.
All right, Melissa. Well, hopefully we don't have to talk to you again. Hopefully, there's no more problems. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine now. You're in the right direction. But thank you for coming on here and making this follow up video for myself and for the people out there to share the rest of your journey. And you know, we'll see you again here in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.